Hey guys, today I'll be teaching you a little bit about the glycemic index. Now I know most of you have probably heard a little bit about the glycemic index but don't really know exactly what it means. So every food that contains carbohydrates is based on a ranking system. And the higher that the glycemic index is, the worse that it is for you. So basically you eat a high glycemic index food and it triggers a fast rise in your blood sugar. So if we scroll down here, you see the high glycemic index nutritional plan. And if I eat something like potato chips, sugar, just straight sugar, if I eat a candy bar, if I eat a slice of cake, white bread, anything that's just terribly high in the glycemic index, you will see a spike in your blood sugar. So the black line is the blood sugar. And when your blood sugar rises, your pancreas has to release insulin in order to get your blood sugar back down to baseline. So the red line is your insulin levels. Now, when you eat the bad foods, it spikes your blood sugar up very quickly, and then it drops very quickly. So that's when you see here the low energy, and you're having the food cravings and the sugar crash. So you eat the candy bar, it spikes blood sugar up, insulin releases, or the pancreas releases the insulin. And because you have such a dramatic drop and such a quick drop, your insulin levels stay elevated. Now, when you get hungry and you eat again and you eat another high glycemic index food, so you're reaching for the Twix or the Butterfinger or just the white pasta, your blood sugar is going to spike up again, and your insulin levels are just going to stay up. So again, you're going to have that drop very quickly in the blood sugar, and then you eat again, have that spike, and then it drops again. So you see this red line right here stays elevated, and you are in the fat storage zone. So this is when diabetes can develop, obesity can develop. We really do not want to live our lives according to eating everything high glycemic. If you can stay low glycemic, that is the way to do it. And if we come right up here to the top, so this is the ideal nutritional plan. So I base everything, my Body Balance meal plan is based on the low glycemic index. So you eat a food that is low glycemic, and I will go over a list of these here soon, but anything like green fibrous vegetables, proteins aren't included, but proteins definitely play a part in this. Any whole grains, things like quinoa that have a lot of additional fiber, anything, whole grain bread, but basically your vegetables, your yogurts, your nuts, peanut butter, beans, things like this are very low on the glycemic index. So you will eat the food and your blood sugar rises just slightly. Pancreas releases insulin, and so it raises up a little bit, and then your blood sugar drops back down very slowly, and as well as your insulin levels. So everything goes back down to baseline at a very controlled pace. And when you eat again, blood sugar slowly rises up, your pancreas releases the insulin, and it slowly raises up, and then it goes back down. So you see right here the burning fat for fuel zone, okay? So you're not up here, not above that fat storage zone like the high glycemic index diet plan. So basically, this is the ideal way to live. And, when you do get into this lifestyle of high glycemic index eating, diabetes is very, very common. So, you can still be slender and eat high glycemic index if your calories are pretty low. So don't worry about the calorie content when it comes to this. I'd rather you consume more calories and stick with a low glycemic index meal plan than just to drop your calories in half and eat all high glycemic index foods. So I hope this helped out, and here in just a second I will give you a little bit more insight on what the different types of foods are for the low and the high glycemic index plans. Okay, so basically the glycemic index ranges from 0 to 100, 0 being proteins that don't contain any carbohydrates, and basically if you're eating a meat, a fish, tofu, eggs, I mean things like that, they are not ranked on the glycemic index due to the lack of sugar. Now, the highest glycemic index food is pure glucose, Wonder Bread, watermelons ranking pretty high up there. So things that are just terrible for you, and you eat the food, it spikes your blood sugar up immediately, and then you have that sudden drop in the blood sugar as well. So if you look here, the low GI foods start at 55 and they go down from there. So your nuts here, most fruits, so berries, grapefruit, cherries, things like that are very low on the glycemic index. And most vegetables, so if they're the green fibrous veggies, cauliflower, broccoli, asparagus, cucumbers, things like that are very low. Nuts and legumes, whole grains, and most dairies. So ice cream is pretty much the only one that is high on the glycemic index. And even then it's more medium than high just because of the added protein in there. Now moving on to the medium glycemic index food is anywhere from 56 to 69, and pretty much boiled potatoes, sweet potatoes, whole wheat products, different types of rice that are not white, and sucrose. And the highest, like I said before, watermelon, white bread, white rice. So when you hear people staying away from anything white, it's because it does have this effect on blood sugar. And all in all, it results in fat storage. So glucose, corn flakes, potato chips, things like that are just digested very quickly in the system and spiking that blood sugar up very quickly. So again, you want to stay low, low, low on that glycemic index if you can. And another way to lower the GI of a food is to add it with a protein. So because we said that protein is not really ranked on the glycemic index, if you do take a high GI food like white pasta and you eat chicken breast with it, it will basically balance it out. So it will result in a medium glycemic index. It will slow that digestion down and it will not spike your blood sugar up as quickly. So you will not have that dramatic spike and drop in that blood sugar. And insulin levels will stay down, so that is the ultimate goal here. Hope this helped out, and you will get a full list of my GI rankings according to food groups here on the website. Okay, so if anybody really cares to know, I just took a snapshot after I got back from the grocery store of just a few things that I got. Now I've always stocked with berries. So strawberries, blackberries, blueberries are always a must. Turkey bacon is, every now and then I'll use it, if I'm making healthy BLTs or, breakfast food, then turkey bacon is always a must instead of the regular bacon. Flat outs are one of my favorites. I use them with a lot of different meals. Sometimes it's a quick snack. I just put some spray butter on it, nuke it in the microwave, and you're good to go. The Laughing Cow light cream cheese. So it's good to spread on, different things, crackers, of course, whole wheat crackers. Again, using that cheese with the crackers lowers the glycemic index of those crackers because of the protein in the cheese. Grapefruit is very good for you, low on the glycemic index, as opposed to the watermelon and pineapple that are higher on the glycemic index. Cucumber, different bell peppers, jalapenos are always good. Just a good way to jazz up a meal. Quinoa is always in my fridge. I typically make a good portion of it at the beginning of the week, and then you're set for the week. My Naturally More peanut butter I just love. It's got flaxseed in it, so very good for you. A lot of protein. Luna bars, Cliff Builder bars, they're very low on the glycemic index. And your almond milk. Stevia is a must in my household. So I do not have sugar in the household. Only stevia is used. I have fish. I have red meat. Yes, red meat, but lower fat content. So extra lean ground beef. Here I have a sirloin. Of course, I cut the fat off the edge. Eggs are always a must. I keep boiled eggs in the fridge all the time. Greek cream cheese. So it's a low-fat cream cheese used with Greek yogurt. And then, of course, the plain fat-free Greek yogurt over here. My pure lemon, or actually it's true lemon, instead of Crystal Light, it uses the natural sweetener. Sweet potatoes, I am obsessed with. And that's just a few things, to show you how low glycemic living should be. So you shouldn't have, candy bars, potato chips, white bread, all of that. You should have more along the lines of this. Okay, so we're not all going to be perfect. I'm far from perfect, but this is just a good base for your week. That way you're fully stocked, and planning is a must. So make sure you pre-plan your week and you will be good to go. Thanks, guys.